Probably 70 to 100 hours a week.
Eat your breakfast.
Like and subscribe right now, or this spider will crawl on your face when you're sleeping. My 600-Pound Life is an American reality television series that has aired on TLC television since 2012. Each episode follows a year in the life of morbidly obese individuals who usually begin the episode weighing at least 600 pounds, 270 kilograms. It moves around the weight loss journey of people guided by Dr. Now. These are people at major life risk due to their extreme obesity. All of this does sound inspiring, but some of the patients can be mullish and unyielding. Though Dr. Now, being who is best in the business and is known for providing the best solution for his patient, however, some of the patients can total nut jobs, and can of them were worse parents too. Here are some of them. My 600-Pound Life stars who are the worst parents. Doug Armstrong. Doug, when he came on the show in 2017, weighed 684 pounds. He was originally addicted to drugs, which later was replaced with binge eating. Doe and his wife were almost the same in weight, but his wife took care of him and their children. It is no doubt that Doug was a total slob by nature. He didn't even help a bit. Even very thought of feeding the youngest one made him break a sweat. The Doe would just sit around the house, feeding himself to death regardless of how he was touching his kid's childhood in the worst way possible. When they all went to the park as a family, he simply sits there doing nothing. This annoys his son as he wants to play with his dad just like other kids at the park. One time at the park, the kid started crying, saying, "He's too sad to talk." While on the show, his wife in her suffering said, "All the efforts I'm making to keep this family intact are not working. It seems that it's not even worth it. It's too exhausting because all Doug can do is sit there." He's almost to the point where he's not even of this family anymore. As being enormous was not just costing Doug his life, but also his relationship with his family, his wife was clear over the fact she was aware of what Doug was going through, but she wanted him to work on himself for the sake of their kids and their future. So Doug decided that he had to lose his weight for good, and that's how he made it to Dr. Now's hospital in Houston. Ashley B. Ashley Bernard was from Carencro, Louisiana, the mother of two who had it rough growing up. She was sexually assaulted as a kid, was traumatized throughout her childhood. As a result, she started eating immensely, and she started putting on weight as an unconscious defense mechanism, and needed a walker to move around. But still, rough childhood is no excuse for being a bad parent. When Ashley was 21 years old, she had her first child, but she left her newborn daughter with her parents as she was not capable enough to take care of her. And when she had her second child, she had to move in with her mother, as she was insufficient of raising her kids on her own, and she took it her 11-year-old daughter's help to get by, who not just had to take care of her younger sibling, but also had to look after her mother, while Ashley wobbled around the kitchen in hot pursuit of her next giant meal. The ironic part is how she can't take care of her kids, but make sure that she has an expensive manicure and eyelash extensions. She just sat around eating all day, eating expensive food as a plate full of eggs and dozens of pancakes in one meal. I mean, priorities check, please. Ashley's family worked all day, and she just sat around eating herself to death. While on the show, she kept babbling about how she was dependent on her daughter and was physically incapable of doing things on her own. She said that, "I can't go where I want, I can't do what I want, but if I eat this, I'll be where I want, because anywhere with good food is a good place, so it makes my life better." Even though not the best patient around, Ashley did come along and decided to change her life's courses. James King. James King weighed 700 pounds when he came on the show, and he was a bad egg when it comes to parenting. Fans of the show, 600 Pounds Life, already know how manipulating James was, and he used others to get his way. He used his girlfriend to sneak food in for him, but that is old news. What most don't know is that how James had his daughter pulled out of the school to take care of him because he was too humongous to move around or do anything at all for a fact. He used to yell at his poor daughter all the time, as he was in excruciating pain with the colitis and acted as if it was her fault, whereas he practically ate himself into immobility. James's daughter Bailey had given in and just accepted her fate, but was miserable knowing that her father needed her. I must say, not much good parenting is to rob your child of any chance at life while using them as a bellboy to deliver food for you in bed so you can eat yourself to death. Bailey on her father's treatment said that, "I have to help my dad. I don't feel like I should have to be a caretaker to my dad because a father is supposed to protect and take care of his daughter." Father is a daughter's hero, however. I don't think James heard this one, as James was given a chance at life by following Dr. Now's diet regime, which he was reluctant to follow, and in the end, he died because of his morbid obesity. Cynthia Wells. Cynthia Wells, one of the most controversial stars on Parents on the show, weighed 610 pounds. As a single mother from Oklahoma who took care of 5 children, the stresses of everyday life got to her, leaving her not just without motivation, but also incapable of keeping up with her kids and their needs. Her 11-year-old daughter took care of Mother by fixing food for her mother and her other siblings and putting powder in her mother fat folding on her body. While talking on the show, she said that it's a lot. She is a 4-year-old woman in an 11-year-old's body, and it is embarrassing for her to see me like this. I've always taken care of my children, but I don't know how it got to this point where they're having to take care of me. When she came to the show, she claimed that she wanted to get better for the sake of her kid, but she earned her reputation for being stubborn and in denial by refusing to follow Dr. Now Zawardian's strict diet regime and exercise program. Ashley Dunn. Ashley Dunn from Texas, when came on the show, her weight was at just over 725 pounds. The 27-year-old had been obese for most of her life, but doctors told her that she would most likely not live past 30 if continued her eating habits, which acted as a huge wake-up call for Ashley, who had begun comfort eating huge amounts of food and candy when she was only 6 years old. She told fans that her mother was a drug addict, so she was hardly ever around. Meanwhile, Ashley's babysitter husband had been abusing her. This drove her to binge eat for her comfort. Her addiction followed her into adulthood. Ashley is one of the most remarkable characters in My 600-Pound Life, as she's so big, her cheeks swell up over her eyes, and it seemed like she would devour her eyeglasses just as she was devouring food. But all this doesn't make up for how she treated her little son, as she's ruining her young son's life, who was just 5 years old and used to do everything for his mother. He fetched just about everything she needed and did most of the chores around the house. Yes, honestly, it does seem kind of impressive to see a 5-year-old do laundry, but pity that he had to do so. They both only ate what the kid could microwave himself. Ashley was one of the worst parents ever seen. She said that because I just can't do it on my own, it's hard for me to walk, so when he does the stuff that I want me to do every day, it makes me feel guilty because he's 5, he should be playing with toys and watching TV. I should be taking care of him. Bethany Stout. Bethany Stout, a 40-year-old woman from Oklahoma. Bethany was a family person. She had a loving husband and was a proud mother of 4 beautiful daughters. She had a picture-perfect life, but her weight spirals out of control. She risked losing all that she loved. Her oldest daughter, Isabella, said about her mother that she'll do anything for her mom and cried that she needs her mom in her life. And her life revolves around taking care of her mom, who had eaten herself to the point of being immobile. The idea of a fun family outing was driving her kids to the grocery store where kids do all the shopping, whereas their mother refuses to come out as she is not capable of carrying the task, as it's too much stress for her body, which puts her kids in an awkward position by demanding they get all the snacks she wants, knowing that they are killing her slowly. Bethany knew that she's running out of time, still, despite all she kept eating. So she made her daughter bring her snacks to eat while she's waiting for breakfast. On the show, she confessed that she was aware of the harm she was causing by saying, "I would say I'm the mother of the family, but I feel like I'm not a contributing member of the family, and I feel like it's hard." That's all for today's viewers' stars who are the worst parents from My 600 Pounds Life. Thanks for watching, and if you liked the video, leave a comment below and rub the like button hard. Last but not least, don't forget to hit the bell icon and subscribe to our channel for our latest videos.